They didn't just wear the uniform, they wore fear like armor. I mean, you know what's crazy? In the Galactic Empire, a rank wasn't just a job title, it was a weapon built to control, intimidate, and crush anyone in the way. 1. Serving in the Galactic Empire. Culture of fear and control. Here's where it gets darker. Serving the Empire meant constant surveillance and absolute obedience. The power ladder was sharp and dangerous. Promotions often came after someone disappeared. From stormtroopers to Grand Admirals, backstabbing was common. Loyalty and ruthlessness could make you rise fast, but hesitation meant a quick fall. In a world where even allies wanted your spot, survival wasn't guaranteed. What would you do? 2. Rank and file soldiers, troopers, and special unit. Now, the real power behind the Empire is the troopers. Stormtroopers, scout troopers, and snow troopers were conscripted from core worlds and trained to obey without question. The best joined elite squads like Death Troopers and Purge Troopers, feared across the galaxy. Their armor hid faces, but their presence screamed control and intimidation. Facing a wall of white armor, that meant no escape. Ever felt that kind of fear? 3. Pauldron colors and meaning. Here's a detail many miss. Colored pauldrons weren't just for looks. Black could mean enlisted trooper or commander. White meant sergeant. Red was squad leader. Orange marked any unit leader, captain, commander, or sergeant. A glance told you who held the power to decide your fate. Such a small detail, but on the battlefield, it meant everything. Did you catch these colors in the movies? 4. Rank and file soldiers, troopers, and special unit. The Empire's real power, troopers. Stormtroopers enforced order. Scout troopers scouted and struck fast. Snow troopers battled icy worlds like Hull. Elites like Death Troopers guarded leaders. Shadow troopers moved unseen, and Purge troopers hunted Jedi survivors. Each specialized in fear and precision, crushing resistance without hesitation. Their armor hid faces, but their deadly intent was clear. What's scarier, the armor or their ruthless fire? 5. Pauldron colors and meaning. Colored pauldrons weren't just decoration, they showed rank instantly. Black meant a regular trooper or commander, white a sergeant, red a squad leader, and orange marked unit leaders, captains, commanders, or senior sergeants. On chaotic battlefields, one glance told you who called the shots and how much danger you were in. Did you notice these color codes in the movies? 6th, Imperial officers, backbone of command. Imperial officers weren't just military, they were political products of the academy and powerful families. Loyalty to the Emperor was a family affair, and connections often trumped skill. They commanded fleets, occupied planets, and managed troops with ruthless efficiency. Behind the crisp uniforms and code cylinders hid ambition and backstabbing, kept in check only by the Emperor's fear. Could you trust someone in that cutthroat world? 7. Midshipmen. First step into naval command. Midshipmen were cadets fresh from the Imperial Academy, trained to obey without question. Their tasks included navigation, sensor monitoring, and command simulations. Less glamorous but vital. Mistakes weren't tolerated, every success was closely watched. This intense pressure forged discipline and prepared them for future command roles. It was make or break time, rise through the ranks or wash out. Could you handle that kind of pressure at your very first job? 8. Lieutenants, Navy and Army roles. Lieutenants were the vital middle link in both the Navy and the Army. Navy lieutenants handled navigation, supervised crews, and relayed orders. Army lieutenants led squads or vehicles in hostile zones like Lieutenant Tanris, coordinating armored assaults. They balanced tactical command with responsibility for lives and missions. One wrong call could mean disaster or death, not just for troops, but for their careers. Imagine that pressure standing between victory and failure. 9. Army commanders, leading larger units. Army commanders led battalions and planetary operations, often coordinating closely with the Navy for orbital support. They were strategists moving divisions like chess pieces. Commander Egar, for example, defended Endor's shield generator amid intense rebel attack. The stakes were high, one mistake could doom the entire mission. In the Empire, failure wasn't just demotion, it meant permanent removal. Would you risk everything on a single decision? 10. Captains. Navy and Army responsibilities. Captains commanded smaller warships or army companies making critical tactical decisions. In the Navy, they led frigates or departments. On land, they commanded troops in combat. Captain Nita famously lost the Millennium Falcon under Vader's watch and paid dearly. Being a captain meant intense pressure. One mistake could cost you everything. Could you handle that heat? 11. Majors, mid-tier command. Majors were second in command to colonels, managing intelligence, logistics, and covert ops. Major Partagaz in Andor ran ISB meetings with ruthless precision. This role demanded sharp battlefield skills and political savvy. Many peaked at Major unless ambition and luck pushed them higher. One wrong move and you were out literally. 12. Colonels, senior battlefield and intelligence command. Colonels commanded major campaigns and intelligence networks, liaising with governors, Moffs, and Grand Moffs. Colonel Wolf Yularen exemplified this role, bridging the ISB and Imperial leadership. They directed fleets one day and planetary occupations the next. Absolute loyalty and flawless records were mandatory. Any hint of disloyalty meant swift public downfall. 13. High Colonels, stepping stone to generals. High Colonels were the Empire's heavy hitters, commanding multiple regiments or sector-wide forces. They often served as the last stop before a promotion to general, proving they could manage large-scale operations without losing control. This role tested both strategic planning and political survival skills because by this point, the competition wasn't just rebels. It was fellow officers gunning for your seat. Only the ruthless thrived here. 14. Navy Commanders, confusing title. In the Imperial Navy, commander could mean captain of a small ship or executive officer on a flagship, like Commander Prodigy on Vader's Devastator. They managed operations and crew efficiency but faced constant danger. Serving under Vader meant any slip-up could be fatal. Prestige came with a target on your back. 15. Brigadier Generals, bridging field and general staff. Brigadier Generals bridged frontline command and strategic planning. They coordinated multi-division campaigns and stabilized critical zones, balancing battlefield realities with the Emperor's grand plan. This role demanded tactical skill and big picture vision. One mistake could cost your rank or life. In the Empire, failure was unforgivable. 16. Major Generals, Corps level strategic command. Major Generals commanded theater level operations across star systems, reporting to High Generals or Moffs. They made high stakes decisions about fortifying or abandoning planet. Galactic chess with political consequences. A wrong move didn't just lose battles, it risked rebellion. In the Empire, failure meant more than retirement. It often meant death. 17. High Generals, semi-independent authority. High Generals acted like military governors with near-autonomous control over strategic world. They ran armies and defenses, but had to avoid overstepping or risk ISB intervention. The Empire demanded strong leaders, just not too strong. Balancing power without challenging the Emperor's throne was a deadly tightrope walk. 18. Generals, large unit or planetary garrison command. Generals commanded vast ground forces and planetary garrison, coordinating with naval and ISB units. General Veers famously led the Hoth AT-AT assault, combining combat and intelligence efforts. Their role was crucial in crushing dissent and maintaining occupation. One wrong move could erase years of loyalty in a heartbeat. 19. Vice Admirals, strategic fleet command. Vice Admirals commanded major fleets, blockades, and shipyards. Ray Sloan directed naval sectors, balancing diplomacy with firepower. Too soft, rebels slipped through. Too harsh, you risked higher-ups' wrath. Survival meant winning battles and political favor in the Navy's ruthless hierarchy. 20. Admirals, sector fleet command. Admirals commanded sector fleets, overseeing Star Destroyer groups and Imperial presence across worlds. Admiral Piet's rise after Ozzel's mistake shows the high stakes. One victory could cement a career, one failure, especially before Vader, meant doom. In the Empire, even success was risky. Holding power meant walking a knife's edge. 21st Fleet Admirals, multiple fleets oversight. Fleet Admirals managed multiple fleets and large-scale operations, linking sector admirals to galactic strategy. They controlled hyperlane routes, shipyards, and blockades, ensuring no Imperial world slipped through. One misstep could unravel entire campaigns. These officers didn't just fight battles, they orchestrated the Empire's military dominance across vast space. 22nd, High Admirals, regional defense coordination. High Admirals were rare, elite commanders moving fleets galaxy-wide. They directed sector fleets, shifting warships between critical zones to enforce Imperial rule. Their grand-scale decisions could could decide entire sectors' fates, but power came with peril. Too much success risked suspicion from the Emperor. In the Empire, threats never lasted long. 23rd Grand Admirals, Emperor's appointments. Grand Admirals were Emperor Palpatine's elite, commanding all branches with near absolute authority. Their white uniforms symbolized unmatched power. Grand Admiral Thrawn exemplified their strategic brilliance and ruthless loyalty. Being a Grand Admiral meant serving the Emperor's will without question. Any hint of disloyalty was met with swift, fatal consequences. 24th Moffs, Sector Governors. Moffs ruled entire sectors politically and militarily, managing governors, troops, and resources for the Emperor. Moff Jerjerrod supervised the second Death Star under Vader's watch. Though powerful, failure meant more than losing rank, it could cost your life. Moff symbolized imperial order and oppression, enforcing fear across multiple star systems. 25th Governors, planetary authority. Governors controlled individual planets, enforcing imperial law, taxes, and loyalty. Figures like Governor Price of Lothal ruthlessly crushed dissent. Many, including Tarkin before his rise, combined military skill with political ruthlessness. Reporting to their Moffs, governors made rebellion nearly impossible. To citizens, they embodied the cold, watchful, and unforgiving face of the Empire. 27th Grand Generals, pinnacle of army command. The Grand Generals commanded multiple armies and advised Emperor Palpatine on war strategy. Their influence rivaled High Admirals, requiring both tactical skill and political savvy. One mistake could mean losing Imperial favor, or worse, power in the Empire was always a deadly game. 28 other Imperial branches and alternative ranks. Branches like military research and the ISB wielded vast power, led by figures like Director Orson Krennic. Their secret projects often bypassed normal command, blending science, espionage, and military roles. Success brought prestige, failure meant ruin. Political survival was as fierce as battle. 29. Darth Vader, no formal rank. Darth Vader had no official rank. His authority came directly from the Emperor. He outranked Moffs and Admirals, enforcing the Emperor's will with deadly efficiency. His presence could change battles or end careers. Vader was the ultimate enforcer and symbol of imperial power. 30. Emperor Palpatine, supreme authority. Emperor Palpatine ruled absolutely over the military, politics, and the Force. Every imperial rank served his will. He maintained power by turning subordinates against each other, preventing threats. The Empire's hierarchy was vast, but it all began and ended with him, the ultimate authority. The Imperial hierarchy was more than ranks. It was a web of fear, loyalty, and ruthless ambition. From nameless troopers to Grand Admirals, everyone served in a dangerous game. In Palpatine's empire, power was earned, stolen, or destroyed, and the only constant, the shadow of the Emperor, loomed over all.